Hiya folks, I got a question on the comments section of this video blog, and I'd like to talk about it. But first, remember that my podcast is up. Episode 3 has just been released to the folks at Patreon, and I'll get that up in a few days for the rest of you folks. The first 2 episodes are on Spotify and everything else, and iTunes and whatever, and Podbean. Also, I survive on your donations, and there are links to Patreon and PayPal below for how you can do that. Okay, here's the comment. The main reason I don't call myself a full-on Buddhist is because Buddhism makes some outlandish claims such as the law of karma, reincarnation, deities, superhero powers, ghosts, and miracles. So when we're discussing superhero powers like levitation or turning into a rainbow body light being, it isn't that being here isn't crazy and a miracle itself, it's that these claims are outside of the actual reality of physics, etc. So it's a cop-out not to address this seriously and brush it aside, otherwise why even make the claims in the first place? We're told these powers come to monks after reaching certain levels of enlightenment, and it's possible and believable, yet we don't see it anywhere. We're talking levitation, ear flying, turning into light, blah, blah, blah. So it's important if these claims are being made. So the main question is, how are we supposed to believe in the rest of it, miracles of the Buddha, even his very existence, karma, gods, and reincarnation, if this simple claim is never, ever proven? Especially karma and reincarnation, which are foundational to Buddhism. I mean, man, if one of those guys just did it on camera, live on TV, and let scientists study them flying, etc. to prove it was legit, just think of how many new Buddhists you'd have overnight. That'd be great for people's enlightenment, wouldn't it? Even if they get in for the wrong reasons of superpowers, they'd eventually see the truth behind Buddhism, and it'd turn many onto the right path, right? So then why don't we see this? Is it a big conspiracy? Are monks shy? Or is it most likely because it's impossible and these people don't actually exist and never have? Okay, that's the question, and there's a lot to unpack here, as they say. I really hate those phrases, like there's a lot to unpack here, but there is. So, number one, let's go from back to front here. If one of these guys did it on camera, these miracles, and let scientists, how many new Buddhists would you have overnight? Well, this is the same sort of logic that kind of fundamentalist Christians that I used to meet when I was a teenager would use. And I've talked about this on this channel. Like the guy who told me that the apostles had undergone terrible torture and death because they refused to say that Jesus didn't perform miracles and therefore we should believe in the miracles. And the idea that if Jesus could perform miracles, that meant he had special powers, that meant we should listen to him. I've never had any belief in that. Like even when I was really starting out in this, it just didn't make sense. Like if somebody could levitate, that meant that their opinions about the nature of God were correct. No, it doesn't. You know, if somebody can, do rise from the dead, that means that they know everything. I doubt it. I don't see why that connects. So there's that taken care of, sorted. The other thing is, Buddhism doesn't stand or fall based on whether Buddha or some other people perform miracles, and I think that's one of the great things about Buddhism. There are miracle stories if you dig them out of the Buddhist repertoire, but most forms of Buddhism don't really put those forth as like, here, this is evidence that what we're saying is correct. Other religions do that, particularly certain forms of Christianity do that, certain forms of Islam do that. Judaism, maybe a little bit, with Moses and all that stuff, but Buddhism doesn't do that. So Buddhism tries to present itself as whether Buddha could perform miracles or not, this is what he said, try that stuff out. Now, the other thing here that maybe should be a whole video or even a whole article or a book is this idea that the belief in karma and reincarnation are foundational to Buddhism. That one, I just have to give you my honest opinion, my own honest opinion, because I have heard that a lot. And Stephen Batchelor in some of his writings makes a big deal out of that, and I keep seeing it around. But for me personally, that was never, ever an issue, not from the very beginning, and still isn't today. So I don't understand when people say that karma and reincarnation are foundational to Buddhism. I've read all the arguments, so there's no need to write it in the comments and explain to me what the argument is. I've read those arguments, but I don't get it. Because when Buddhism was first introduced to me, I heard things like the Heart Sutra and some of those early Buddhist things like the Four Noble Truths and all that stuff. And I was introduced to this form of meditation, the Zazen meditation in the Shikantaza style. And I could see the beauty of Shikantaza Zazen right from the beginning. And that's what got me into it. I didn't do Zazen because I thought it would lead to a better reincarnation or better karma. I did Zazen because I could see that it helped my life. And gradually, as I got more and more into the philosophy, I began to understand more about what karma, the meaning of the idea of karma actually was. And the reincarnation thing, as I've said many times, I'm still kind of agnostic about it, but, I don't know. But it doesn't make any difference to me in terms of whether I continue practicing Buddhism or continue teaching Buddhism or not. It's irrelevant. So I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it. If you want to try to explain it to me in the comments, you can, but, just don't reiterate those same talking points. I mean, you can if you want. But those same talking points about why reincarnation and karma are foundational to Buddhism just are lost on me. I've read them dozens of times. Don't get it. The other thing is, this goes back to what I was talking about before, which is this matter of belief. And what I say about belief is this: find the thing that no one can disbelieve. That's what I'm trying to do. Or instead of saying that no one can disbelieve, because that sort of assumes, that there's somebody, I'm sure there's somebody out there who can disbelieve everything, right? Find the thing that you can't disbelieve. Find the thing that I can't disbelieve. That's what Zazen is for me. Zazen is a chance for me to sit with that which I cannot disbelieve. I cannot disbelieve my own experience of sitting. I could disbelieve any explanation you give for that experience. I could disbelieve any explanation that has to do with karma or God or reincarnation or anything like that. Or I could disbelieve the explanation that you give me about serotonin levels in the brain and the nervous system and blah blah woof woof, whatever like that. But the experience itself is beyond belief and disbelief. I can't believe it or disbelieve it. I could disbelieve it, but it's stupid to disbelieve it because here it is. That's what, to me, Buddhism is trying to get to. That which I cannot disbelieve. So there you go. That's my short answer to a long question, or a long answer to a short question. Remember, I survive on your donations, and the links are below, and that my podcast is out, so listen to that. Thank you very much. See you later. Have a good day. Bye.